I'm Rob Mark, and this is On the Mark. It's 2016, and the idea of privatizing air traffic control and finding the cash to run the FAA is back in the news. But this time, the plan could affect everyone who flies, whether they're a passenger in a Boeing, in the cabin of a business jet, or flying their own Cessna 172. And this plan's also going to be watched very closely by members of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. Now, here's the story everybody needs to hear. Each of the previous attempts to pull air traffic control out of the bureaucracy was carefully crafted, not by all users, but only by the airline industry, under the guise of better efficiencies at lower costs. But for the airlines, privatizing ATC is really just about money and control. If they can dominate a privatized ATC's board of directors and fund it with user fees based on weight and distance traveled, they're pretty much going to control air transportation in America. And they'd like to do it with zero congressional oversight. And who has more experience with user fees than the airlines? They're raking in billions in record profits on the backs of their customers right now. The rush to act? That's because the current FAA Reauthorization expires just weeks from now, on March 31st, 2016. The airline industry's trade group, Airlines for America, or A4A, is already crafting their own vision of the nation's air transportation system. And they're working alongside the powerful chairman of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Pennsylvania's Bill Schuster. But airline passengers, business and general aviation, we weren't even invited to the negotiation table. We've all been told to just be patient and comment when the legislation appears, that Congress will take care of us. But with that reauthorization's expiration date fast approaching, the pressure to leave any legislation intact when it does appear is going to be enormous. Now, remember back when the healthcare reform legislation first debuted a few years ago? Almost no one in Congress knew what was in that bill either before they voted on it, except, of course, for the private companies that had helped craft the deal. Remember those promises? Trust Congress. It'll all work out fine. But something's different with the A4A's plan to user finance a private ATC system this time, though. Not all of the airlines support it. Delta Airlines was so unsure of where this spin-off and the control legislation was headed that they eventually withdrew from their own trade association rather than be dragged down this road. Now, Delta's emerged as one of America's really great airlines, and their CEO, Richard Anderson's a pretty smart guy. So if Delta's saying, hold your horses, why shouldn't everyone else? Even UPS and FedEx, the A4A's primary cargo carriers, don't seem convinced of this plan either. Like the healthcare debate, the big question is, who pays if the A4A's plans don't work out? That's right, airline passengers. First through more ticket fees, the same ones that sent airline profits soaring. The rest of us, of course, will be tapped to make up the difference. So if you enjoy any of the benefits of air transportation today, please don't be a spectator on this one. Congress doesn't listen to lobbyists the way they do when constituents call. Grab your smartphone and visit nbaa.org/advocacy. Tell Congress to take a breath and really read the FAA legislation this time before they mess up the safest and best air traffic control system in the world. For On the Mark, I'm Rob Mark. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.